This is PWME News Report and Order of your LK here, with a very special edition of LK's Wrestling Reviews. This is right here on the PWME and KocoSports.net YouTube channel. And I bet you're wondering, what the fuck is LK doing by himself? Well, I feel like doing shows by myself, and I watch Main Event. One of the only 6 people on the whole planet who watch Main Event. It's over here in the UK, airs on the 7th of January 2016 on Sky Sports 5. And this does make me laugh, okay? So you have the Sky Sports channel, and the way how it works over here in England is that the better the product, the higher rating, the lower rating number you get. For instance, Sky Sports 1 always has football, rugby every now and then, and cricket. Sky Sports 2, tennis. Sky Sports 3, SmackDown and Raw at a push. Sky Sports 4, you have, pool, snooker at a push. Sky Sports 5, they have the privilege of Main Event, fishing, racing programs. That's it. So that just shows you the importance and really how crucial Main Event is to the weekly structure of the fucking week when it comes to the wrestling shows and UK in general. It just shows, like, everyone says that TNA is really over in the UK, and that grinds my gears. I know this isn't a TNA show, but just a quick little hit on it. Every single time people say, oh, TNA's massive in the UK, look at the numbers. I looked at the numbers. The Nielsen TV ratings over in the UK, they get about 200,000 viewers a week. That's a push. You got to remember, it's 5 days delayed after the delayed for in America. So the Americans are delayed by about 3 months of TV tapings. In England, then you got to wait another 5 days. And the reason why TNA, I know this is completely off topic, but it's Main Event. I'm going to be honest with you guys. There was 3 matches, all that are Main Event worthy. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And TNA's like, in the end of the day, that they think they're big over here in the UK when they're actually not. It's just it's like NXT. NXT is kind of big, but there's a lot of fans who do not watch the product, and it's only big to those hardcore wrestling fans. TNA is exactly the same in England. The reason why people watch TNA in England is because they don't want to pay for the Sky Sports. Basically, you have to pay for Sky Sports. It's £20 a month for if you want to watch WWE, all the WWE programming. That's Main Event, that's Superstars, that's SmackDown, that's Raw on your TV. It costs you an extra £20 a month on top of your Sky package, which is already about 70 quid. So think about that. Normal people, with the Sky, they usually pay about 50, 70 quid, which means they have access to TNA. There's a very select few people who have Sky Sports, but WWE still tops them in numbers, and you have to pay to watch Monday Night Raw, and they still top them in numbers. Plus, TNA's on at 9 p.m., WWE Monday Night Raw's on at 1 a.m., and Raw's still beating Impact, and you tell me TNA's bigger than WWE. Anyway, enough of that lollygagging and pussy fucking around. I wanted to do a short podcast here, and let's get this done and knuckled on the head. So, Main Event, 7th of December in the UK. And this is so funny. Me and Dave talked before we went on air. Like, he was trying to find the results of the show, and he couldn't find on WWE.com. WWE's own website does. They report that the rumors of AJ Styles, Nakamura, Anderson, and Gallows coming to the company, yet they won't put out the results of Main Event. They put the results out Superstars. They just don't put the results out on Main Event. And I think the only reason they do Main Event is for the contractual obligations over here in England and a few other countries in Europe. I know they have obligations to do, and the contract is kind of grinding my gears at the moment, because it means SmackDown's on a Friday. We do the SmackDown review on a Thursday night, which means I have to watch it online, which means I'm paying for Sky Sports when I don't watch SmackDown. Main Event is good, though. I mean, if in the end of the day you have 30 minutes and you're sick and tired of Monday Night Raw, the bullshit of the sports entertainment, you just want to see what the roster can do when it pertains to actual wrestling, this is a good show to watch. And I usually love the format. I usually put 2 weeks ago when I did the review, I love Jack Swagger versus The Miz. They got given 15 minutes. They went out then, busted their ass off, and had an absolute incredible match. But this week's Main Event, it was really strange, because you start off with this promo from the Social Outcasts, okay, which is the group that's formed, which is Curtis Axel, Bo Dallas, Heath Slater, and Adam Rose. They come out, they cut a promo saying that they're going to beat up the Usos tonight, and hashtag trending worldwide, all this shtick. And then the Usos come out, they say, look, we're going to beat you. They start having a brawl, and then they separate, and then they hype Usos versus Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel in the main event of Main Event. And I'm sat there thinking, look, why are you wasting time building towards the main event when you could have added this match easily on to the opener? Because what I love about Main Event is there's no talking, there's no bullshit. It's just match, finished. And it's literally a half-an-hour show. By the time they have a Raw recap on, it's a 30-minute show, and that's what I love about it. And that's what I think, that if you put NXT out there for 3 hours, I don't care how good the product is, every single week, you're going to get sick and tired of it. Whereas Main Event is 30 minutes of just some wrestling that you can sit by and just watch. I mean, it's on at 11 p.m., which is a good time. I just finished work, and then I just put it on. I just watched it as I got changed, did this and that, and it's just okay. It's Main Event. It's cool. I mean, you're not wasting 30 minutes of your life because you're just watching some wrestling, and by the time you skip the adverts, it could be less than that. But we'll get down to the opening matches. I said I wanted this one to be a short one. Titus O'Neil defeating Stardust, and this really makes me chuckle. So okay, take your mind back to 2011, 2010, even 2010, I could say, when Stardust went through the dashing Cody Rhodes gimmick. You tell me from 2010, take your mind, but you're in 2010 right now. You telling me 5 years later, Cody Rhodes would not have won a world title. He would become a gimmick similar to Goldust, where he loses to jobbers on the Jobber Show. You would have thought to yourself, I'm a lion, I'm an absolute imbecile. That's the case. That is, and I feel so bad because I know this sounds horrible, but when Dusty died, I really wanted Stardust to become Cody and do it in memory of his dad. I know lots of people weren't a fan of the Rey Mysterio story where Rey Mysterio won the world championship in the name of his friend Eddie Guerrero. But I think, you could have had some emotional attachment to Cody Rhodes. And then, in the end of the day, his father would have been happy because Cody Rhodes would have got more over, made more money, had a better life. Like, in the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. And he's now losing to Titus O'Neil. And for some reason, Titus O'Neil is getting this mini little push. I mean, he won on Raw. He won on Main Event. And I just don't get it. I just really do not get the appeal in any way, shape, or form to this Titus O'Neil. I mean, in my opinion, he walks like an action figure. He's like a Tree Trunks. I think that's his new name, Tree Trunks. And it baffles me. Like, he doesn't. Okay, he has that hurrah thing that's just kind of over with the crowd. But apart from that, he's not even over with the crowd. I mean, it's not like the younger audience are a fan of him. It's not. It's just he's got this little niche audience that's a couple of people in the audience who like barking like dogs. Maybe they're dog women who are after some. And I know he's a great guy, and I'm not going to take away from him personally, sorry. Professionally, he stinks, but personally, he's a great guy. I mean, I know he helps the homeless, so I kind of feel a bit bad knocking him. But I don't like seeing a guy going over another guy who has so much potential, and I just wish, and I swear to God, I pray that Stardust just quits it. I mean, there's the Cody chants, and then just the crowd want Cody Rhodes. Like, they chant Cody, knocks to wind Stardust because they want to see Cody Rhodes. I remember back in 2012 when I started properly like reading the internet and really getting into the dirt. Dave Meltzer, you son of a... And speaking of dirty Dave Meltzer, this is a great sidetrack, okay? So on every single podcast, I like to take a dig at dirty Dave Meltzer, okay? So Dave Meltzer tweets on his Wrestling Observer gimmick where you pay $2,000 a year to hear bullshit. He did this story, if you remember, a few months ago where Randy Orton injured his neck. He has to take long surgery. He could be out for 18 months. Well, my boy Randy Orton, who if you build a sports entertainer from the ground up, you get, he put a tweet out today. Meltzer said this, it's not true. Like, Randy Orton does not have any neck issues, and he's looking forward to coming back to the ring. Fingers crossed my boy Randy Orton comes back at the Royal Rumble. Who knows? He could win the thing. Just imagine Coco's face. Imagine that. Imagine coming on for the Rumble review. And then you have Coco there crying his eyes out because Orton won. And then you have me there screaming if you build a sports entertainer. If you build a WWE World Heavyweight Champion from the ground up, you get Randy Orton. And I think it's a great boost for the WWE roster if Randy Orton's back. I mean, I don't know what you're going to do with him. I mean, you can imagine you could do Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns at the Fastlane pay-per-view in February to try and boost that numbers up, because that's the trouble with these February shows in between the Rumble and Mania. They're kind of a filler, and you want that filler to still kind of, bring some attention, especially towards the WrestleMania season. But back to the point of trying to make Dave Meltzer did not apologize to his paying customers that he got it wrong. It was false. He didn't apologize to Randy Orton. He didn't apologize to the WWE for giving out false information. He just sat there and said nothing, which is an absolute shill piece of shit human being, which is just like the majority of the world. And that saddens me. If you're going to fuck up, come up here and say, look, I was wrong. And he doesn't do that. And that grinds my gears something wrong. And I don't know why this show isn't over yet. And I'm still on the first freaking match. We've talked about TNA's viewership in the UK. We've fucking talked about Dave Meltzer. We've talked about you build a sports entertainer up for you get Randy Orton. We've talked about Tree Trunks. We've talked about Cody Rhodes. Come on, let's get this. Get to the next one. And this one makes me happy. We had Tyler Breeze defeating Batty Ryder. And I'll tell you what, this is a guilty pleasure of mine. Sitting there watching Zack Ryder lose on TV. That is a guilty pleasure of mine. And seeing him go out there, losing 5 minutes to Tyler Breeze, who was a guy I like. And what I liked about this show is in every single match, it's a guy I really like versus a guy I fucking hate. Titus O'Neil, personally love the guy. Professionally as a wrestler, I don't really like. Stardust, I talked about how I loved Cody Rhodes. Tyler Breeze, I fucking love. Zack Ryder, I hate more than anyone on the planet. You got the Usos, who I hate because I'll touch on in a minute, versus Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel, and I love Axel more than a straight man should. No Coco, pun intended. So this match was a squash. Tyler Breeze got the win, thank God. It was pretty obvious. And I hope the push of Tyler Breeze can continue. Hopefully he gets involved in the Rumble, maybe do some qualifying matches on Raw, but don't make me love qualifying matches on Raw. That would make Raw matches interesting. Don't be silly. What an absolute imbecile. Anyway, I digress. We'll move on to the main event. There's nothing really to talk about. Breeze beat Ryder. What do you want me to go on? A rant about Zack Ryder? I do that on every single show. You've heard it all before. Fuck it. As in, I'm in a really good mood. I just want to get this off. The reason why, if this is your first time listening to my show, because you watch Main Event for some really strange reason and no one else covers the damn thing. Firstly, welcome. Secondly, the reason why I hate Zack Ryder is because there's people out there who go out, they bust their ass off, legit bust their ass off day in, day out for 5 days a week for 52 weeks a year, which schedule is grueling, and they're the only company the only job in the whole world where they don't have time off unless they injure themselves. If I was out there, I'd just fucking go out and break my neck and I'll be out for a year. And he used to go on there. He used to make a YouTube show called Z True Long Island Story that I used to despise. I used to spit on every single time it came out. He got over with the internet when it was the minority, and he got over. He won the US strap from Ziggler at the TLC 2011 pay-per-view. I remember because I cried my eyes out. And then he got absolutely destroyed because he got himself over by himself. Like he did. When I say that, you can get over yourself. Cesaro is the point of this. He did not go on social media and say blah, 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 blah. He worked out there. He busted his ass off in the gym. He busted his ass off inside the ring. And now he's got what he's got. And that was, before he left, he was getting quite a high spot. I mean, look at SummerSlam this year. He was against Kevin Owens in one of a big match. And it saddens me because he's doing that while Zack Ryder's on Twitter moaning about his spot. No, Zack Ryder, if you said, look, I'm going to be honest, stop. I'm going to stop this shit. I'm not going to complain anymore. I'm just going to bust my ass and I'm going to prove to Vince why you should push me. Push me because I'm connected to the crowd. Push me because the crowd care about me. Push me because I'm a great worker. Push me because I'm fucking God. No, you're not doing that. You're being a whingy little bitch who I hope gets fired soon. But the issue is, I don't want him to get fired because when the shit's already in the shit company, I can live with that. But when that shit starts to get into when the dirt starts to get into great companies like New Japan or Ring of Honor or something like that, then I start having an issue with it, and my level of hatred will skyrocket for Zack Ryder if that's biologically possible. So there you go. That's the reason why I hate Zack Ryder. Then in the main event, you have the Usos defeating Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel after a roll-up. This comes off the bat of Heath Slater with a big upset victory on Monday Night Raw against Dolph Ziggler with the Social Outcasts group, which is a group made of Heath Slater, Bo Dallas, Curtis Axel, and Adam Rose. This is how you use social media. You don't make a YouTube show and bitch. Okay, this is exactly what I like. They use social media to say, look, we're going to change this place. We are going to. Not moan saying, oh, I wish, blah, blah, blah. They say they're going to. They made a statement. They're saying they're putting their balls on the wall. If this fucks up, this is probably their career over. I'm going to be honest. But they put their balls on the table, and now they're going with this. And I could fully condemn it. Adam Rose is an okay talent. I remember him having a great match on Main Event with Jack Swagger a month ago. And if you noticed, all these great matches happening with Jack Swagger is for a reason, because Jack Swagger's a fucking great worker. Curtis Axel, I love to death. I mean, I love that kind of talent where, he comes out, he's very intense. It looks like he's going to kick the shit out of you. He looks like he generally is going to beat the living shit out of you. And I love that. I love his intensity. I love his bumps. I think he's a great worker. And I remember back in 2013 when he won the IC strap for Paul Heyman, I remember marking out like a little bitch. I own the only piece of merchandise that Curtis Axel owns, the Better Than Perfect shirt. And I just love the guy. When I'm wearing the guy's shirt, I'm a huge fan of them because I'm paying to support them. And I have when it comes to WWE, I have a very few selection of shirts. When it comes to WWE, I mean, I have Curtis Axel, I have Ziggler, I have Rollins. I think that's about it. Ziggler, Axel, Rollins. I think that's about it. I'm going to be honest. So out of all the wrestlers I could have had, I have an Axel shirt. Well, again, I review Main Event. I have an Axel shirt. I think I'm one in a million cat. I'm going to be honest with you. And what I touched on earlier that I don't like the Usos. The reason why I don't like the Usos is because, in my opinion, once you've seen one Uso match, they're worse than John Cena. It's like John Cena but twins. Like they have the exact same match. Hot tag, kick to the gut, duck down, uppercut, another super kick. They hit the ropes, duck, duck. Samoan drop. They roll to the corner. They do the Uso Rikishi thing. Drag him in the center of the ring. 1, 2. The other member comes, hits them. Then they have a super kick. One goes out to the outside. One Uso crazy dive. Okay. And then you have one Uso back in the ring. Super kick. Splash off the top. That gets the win. But this time, because it's main event, the best show of the week, they end it by rolling up. And I'm going to be honest, I was shocked. The Usos won by rolling up Bo Dallas. I was very, very shocked. They were, I can't believe I'm going to say this, they were protecting Curtis Axel, my boy Curtis Axel, and Bo Dallas, who needs to lose weight. And I sent a really nasty tweet about Bo Dallas. I said, I hope his New Year's resolution's to get in shape. Because, like, Kevin Owens, I ripped the guy for his weight, but at the end of the day, at least he covers it up. Like, he does cover it up. Bo Dallas does not. He's not ashamed of his flab. Like, come on. Like, when I'm sat here and I'm in better shape than Bo Dallas, I mean, I sit on my ass, I watch pro wrestling, and then I talk about it on a damn podcast, and I'm in better shape than him. Something's not right there. Something is really, really not right there. And the last thing, I didn't touch on this. I got a little bit of notes. I literally got the littlest of notes, and I have one note on the Twitter machine that I tweeted, and I favorited it myself so I can remember to use it. Back to the Titus O'Neil Stardust. The whole match was built around Titus O'Neil's shoulder. Stardust was working the shoulder. Stardust was working the shoulder, starting to working the shoulder. Then all of a sudden, right at the end, Titus O'Neil on the comeback, he hit a shoulder block, didn't sell. He hit the Clash of the Titans, didn't sell. He did lots and lots of things. And then all of a sudden, it's over. He didn't sell it. It's over. He won the match. He just put his arms up in the air. He didn't bother selling his arm. Didn't bother doing nothing. And that really grinded my gears. So Titus O'Neil, if you're out there listening to this, you're a great human being, but as a worker, you fucking suck. So that's going to be it for this week's main event, and I hope you enjoy the show. I'm going to quickly see if we got any live comments. I hope we do, because otherwise now I'm going to look like an imbecile. We do have some live comments, thank fuck. So we have Lennox Witterson. We have this is a comment from him. Cody should have definitely been near the upper card, but he came up during the era of Chosen Ones. Honestly, if he wasn't Dusty's son, WWE would have never hired him. He's still an excellent performer. I completely agree with that, 110%. The issue is, I thought he was really over. Like, back in 2011, 2012, I mean, he had that feud with Big Slow at Mania. I thought he was really, really good, and he was really over. He looked like a star. He came out, he looked like a star. He had that thing with Sandow in late 2012. I mean, they had that big rivalry with Kane and Daniel Bryan for the tag straps. I just don't know what happened to him, and I just felt so sorry for the guy. I mean, he's a really good worker, and I just feel sorry for him. And then you have Ray S. I agree with you. Okay. Then you have, here we go. Lennox, when I see a live comment, and the first thing that it says Zack Ryder in the title, I know here comes the heel heat, okay? So here we go. Lennox, so what have you got for me? Zack Ryder at least tried to get over and did when he was a victim of Cena's shovel. He doesn't really have it in the ring, but WWE should have utilized his charisma and following better. Yes, I do agree with the statement that the WWE should have utilized on his charisma and his following. I do agree. I'm not part of that following, but I do agree with you. Cena's shovel did fuck him up. I'm not going to say I'm not. That's the only time I'm going to give I accidentally missed that when Cena buried and then fucking kissed his bird. That makes me absolutely chuckle. But yeah, you are right. He did try. But then there's trying like the social outcast where you're going out, you put your balls on the table, you're busting your ass off, and then you get guys like Zack Ryder who just make a YouTube channel, make a YouTube show, bitch. Like, come on, you're better than that, Zack Ryder. Come on, you're better than that. And then you have Fran Yelly. LK, what are your thoughts on CM Punk? Oh, damn. As a worker, you can't question the guy, one of the best. As a human being, it's difficult. It's difficult because with Zack Ryder, it's different because he was very low on the card trying to get himself over, whereas Punk was on the main card, on the main roster, in the main event, carrying the title for a whole year, and he was just getting put in. I mean, I remember this one point was my limit, over the limit, no pun intended, 2012. It was CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship. What a fucking match. Need I say no more? That was mid-card because the main event was John Cena versus John Laurinaitis. Okay, and you're Punk, and you're sat there saying, look, I just went out there, put on a wrestling clinic on a wrestling pay-per-view, and you're going to put the main event of John Cena versus a non-active wrestler. You know, that must grind his gears. But at the same time, I like how he stands up for himself, but in the end of the day, I didn't like when he bitched about, not being Mania main event when he wrestled Taker. I'm going to be honest, that pissed me off when he's like, oh, I wrestled Taker. It's not the main event. The main event goes on last. how many people would have killed for that? Zack Ryder would have legit gone to prison to have that spot against Taker at Mania. And Taker's like the main. I know there's only one main event, the match that goes on last, but it's still Taker at Mania. There's a huge difference. So that's a tough question, and it'll depend on what mood I'm in. I love CM Punk the Worker. I think he's a fucking hysterical human being. I'm going to be honest. But when it pertains him complaining about spots like that, and I remember WrestleMania 30, he was meant to have a rivalry with Triple H. His ego got the better of him. Lots of people would have killed to have that spot. I mean, look at Bryan. Bryan beat H, beat Batista, and if you build a sports routine, you get ground up, you get Randy on. So yeah, so that's my opinion on CM Punk. It changes on the mood, and I'm pretty sure that's the same with everyone. And then you have Lennox Whitson with the final live comment, and thank you for all the live commenters. And thank you if you watched this live. Thank you for watching the second. Make sure you put in the comments win, loss, or tie, or if you just didn't watch, which I'm expecting a lot of. Lennox puts the Usos have become very formulatic and are only really worth watching in multiple man tag matches. This is mostly because they can weave their spots in with other people's spots. Yes, I completely agree with that statement so much. I can literally close my eyes and picture an Uso match. I think you all can too. I can't remember the last time they mixed it up. They don't mix it up, and it's the same match every single time, whether they're against Alberto and Rusev, whether they're against the New Day, whether against the Lucha Dragons. It's always the same spots. They're like Cena but twins, and it's really frustrating. It really does grind my gears. So that's going to do it for this week's edition of Main Event. Make sure you put in the comments win, loss, or tie. That being said, you can follow me on Twitter at LK Wrestling. Make sure you head over to pricing.me, which there's no more LK VIP. It's all pricing.me. 2016 is going to be the year of pricing.me you watch. Thank you so much for watching this show. This has been LK here. Follow me on Twitter at LK Wrestling. I'll follow you back unless you post spoilers and unless you're an associate of Dave Meltzer, then I'm going to block you. No, I'm not going to block you. That being said, thank you very much for watching. Stay safe, stay well. Have a great Sunday, and I'll catch your asses down the line.